Everyone, how you doing? It's Arnie, it's Pepper Tree Villa, and it's time for the Daily Dose of Disney. Hope you're all doing okay. How are you doing, Mike? And Rachel, thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Um, Let us see what's going on in the world of Disney today. Yeah, you know what? The Life with Ben video was fun today. I really appreciate when Ben does things like that. I liked Sherry being a part of it as well, so that was fun. Hi, Samantha. Thank you for joining. So, it's February 20th. The month is 2/3 over. Where did this month go? Oh, I know. It's flying just like the rest of the year so far. 2 months almost done already. It's going to be time for us to put up our Christmas decorations again, and we're just taking things down. Well, the last of it anyway. Doug was just relishing that last little bit of Christmas. We have our mantle above the fireplace. There are always some greens there. And in those greens, we put balls and little baubles and stuff and pine cones and berries and things. And Doug really likes the look of it and the feel. And then he also puts bubble lights. And that's just an annual tradition for him. Since he was a child, bubble lights always bubble lights on the mantle. So that's what we do. And he loves it. And we also have this big wreath that's over that as well. So it's above the fireplace. And we absolutely love it. Hey, Cody, thank you for joining. And Lena, it's Paper, Scissors, and Vacations. Oh my, PSV, thank you for being here. Oh, wow. It's, hey, Danny, Two Real Geeks. Thank you for being in the house. I appreciate that. It's nice to have you here. I guess the alert just went out because all of a sudden I'm seeing more people jump in. Mar, hello there. Thank you for joining. Good to have you. And Cynthia, Candy Mom, thank you for joining. Welcome to the stream. Yep, just got the alert. Oh, wonderful. Well, let's go ahead and get started then. It is February 20th, and it's time for your Daily Dose of Disney. And on this day, February 20th, 1986, this is after Michael Eisner and Frank Wells have taken over Disney. Well, not really taken over. They were hired and asked to help improve the company. D&G Explorers, it is great to have you here. Welcome to the stream. So 1986, WED Enterprises. Yes, that's a thing. WED stands for Walter Elias Disney. This is a company that he created himself so that he could have some, creativity, some research being done. It's the year before I was born. Yeah, 1986. This is the year that they changed the name of WED Engineering. They used what's called a portmanteau. And a portmanteau is a word. It's a linguistic blend. I'm getting this definition from Wikipedia. It is a linguistic blend of words in which parts of multiple words or their phonemes are combined into a new word, such as smog, which was a combination of smoke and fog, or motel, which is motor and hotel, a motor hotel, which is a motel. Martine Watts, good to see you. So that's a portmanteau. And in this case, imagineering is the word. It used the words imagination and engineering. It just works together. So, and the thing is, that word was not created by Disney. It was actually created in 1950. It was first created in 1957. It was by a guy named Richard Saylor in an article named Brainstorming is Imagination Engineering. And it was written for a company called the National Carbon Company Management Magazine. And then the term was just adopted by Disney, in this case, Walt Disney Imagineering. So the word was created almost 30 years prior to them starting to use it. Hi, Noah. Thank you for joining. Good to have you here. So that's where Walt Disney Imagineering came from in 1986 on this day. That's when they started calling it that. February 20th, 1995. Disneyland, they are right in the midst of starting the celebration of 40 years of adventures. And it was actually at about this point that they were doing the cast member preview. I think they did the previews on February 20th and 21st. I remember being there on February 21st for a cast member preview in 1995. My friend Louise was working at Disneyland at the time, and she invited me to go with her to the cast preview of Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. What an amazing attraction. It still blows my mind some 25 years later that that's at Disneyland. Anytime you want to go on it at Disneyland, it's right there in Adventureland. I absolutely love that attraction. But on this day, it was announced that AT&T would be sponsoring it. And it kind of made sense because they had this whole choose wisely kind of concept going on. Donna Jaworski, good to have you here. Thank you for joining the stream. AT&T had this whole choose wisely campaign, and it just worked in nicely with Indiana Jones since it was, I believe, the last Crusade where they had to choose the Holy Grail, and the phrase in the film of the Grail Keeper there said, "You have chosen wisely." So it was one of those things that they incorporated into the attraction to choose wisely. And AT&T was just a natural fit for the advertising sponsor for that one. That was in 1995. In 2002, there was, let's see, what was it that I posted there? Oh yeah, that's right, I did. Okay, no, 2002, it was reported that there was a brand new tombstone that was being installed in the graveyard entrance of Magic Kingdom's Haunted Mansion. And the tombstone, which is apparently the last one you see before you enter the attraction, it's dedicated to Madame Leota. And the tombstone reads, "Dear sweet Leota, beloved by all, in regions beyond now, but having a ball." I think that's pretty clever. Of course, all of the gravestones are pretty clever. Martine, you need coffee. Actually, I could use a cup right now myself. I'm a little tired. Funny thing is that coffee doesn't keep me awake. Caffeine does not have that effect on me. It just makes me shake if I have too much of it. And also makes me, well, pee a lot, so, but we won't talk about that. 2004, on this day, a movie premiered in the movie theater. Hey, Richard, thank you for joining, Mr. The Orlando guy. And I'll be mentioning Richard in just a bit, by the way. 2004, a movie was released on this date starring Lindsay Lohan, Disney's Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. And I must confess, I have never seen this movie. It just never really appealed to me, but it's about a teenage girl who dreams of being a Broadway star. And then she's convinced that her home city revolves around her life. She finds herself competing for attention when her family packs up and moves to the suburbs. And the interesting thing is that this role was originally offered to Hilary Duff, but she, I guess, had a scheduling conflict or turned it down. It went to Lindsay Lohan. So that was in 2004. In 2015, another film was released starring Kevin Costner. This one was produced by Walt Disney Pictures. It was called McFarland USA. It's a sports drama that's based loosely on the true story of a Latin team from a school track team from McFarland, California. And I remember that story simply because, you know, California, they made a big deal about it. So that was 5 years ago in 2015. So that's it for history. Let me give you a little bit of news here. In the news, Magic Kingdom Vice President Jason Kirk answered some frequently asked questions about the Cinderella Castle makeover for the 50th anniversary. Now, you know what's going on. Just a few days ago, they announced that they're going to be transforming Cinderella's castle for the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. They're not doing a birthday cake, not like the 25th. A lot of people were still horrified by that. I found it kind of whimsical and cute, but that's because I had no personal emotional attachment to Magic Kingdom, where people did with Cinderella Castle. I mean, don't touch anything. I personally liked it. I thought it was, like I said, whimsical. But he has taken to answering questions about the park. And in this case, some of the questions are rather interesting. One is this: when is the anticipated completion date for the makeover of the castle? Because I already have a trip planned for October 2020 with our 8-year-old grandson. Well, he says that our work is expected to begin in the coming weeks and be completed before the end of summer. And then he finishes off that question, that answer by saying, I hope you have a magical trip. And then someone said, I have reservations at the Princess Breakfast in June. Will this still happen? This is our first time for anyone in our family, and planning has been overwhelming. It would be nice to know before our trip what will happen. And he says, hi, Stephanie. This is the person that wrote the question. Throughout the makeover, guests will still be able to enjoy favorites inside the castle, such as Cinderella's Royal Table and the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. And there are not going to be any scrims covering the castle. Jim, more sunshine, please. Season's greetings. How are you? So while it's going to be a temporary construction equipment being brought in to do it while it receives the royal makeover, it will remain uncovered, and they will do their best to ensure that guests are still able to capture special photos in front of the castle. So there will be no scaffolding, no scrim like they usually do, like on Main Street. Nothing like that. The castle will still be exposed. So you'll still be able to take pictures of the castle. Pretty good. And then the final thing that I'm going to say here is that Walt Disney World has finally confirmed that Epcot is changing its name to Epcot. What does that mean? Epcot no longer as a word, it's actually the acronym. So all capital letters, anytime you see the word Epcot, it will be in capital letters, no longer just a single word or a single noun. It's going to refer to its experimental prototype community of tomorrow name. So that's what it is now. So that's what they've decided to do. I think that's pretty good. And so you'll see a lot of signage throughout the whole resort. Anytime you see, that's right, that's it, Noah, Epcot into Epcot. Oh, hi, Pam. Yeah, no problem. Oh, okay. Cody, have a good dinner. Everyone, that is all I have for news and history, but I'd like to thank you, the moderators. I see a blue wrench right there, several blue wrenches actually. Thank you so much for doing what you do. I really appreciate that. Cannot do this without you. And to my support channels, the Orlando guy, more sunshine, please. Thank you, Jim. Two Real Geeks, D&G Explorers, and Rob Fuzz. Thank you for all the support that you offer us. It is very much appreciated. As a matter of fact, Richard gave an example of how he supports PTV, and that was today. On Life with Ben, you'll see that Ben thanks Richard, the Orlando guy, at the end of his video. If you watch the video all the way to the end, you'll see that thank you. So please, when you watch that video, watch it all the way through, and then you'll see Richard's credit at the end. And it's because Richard actually does a little voiceover work there for Ben. And you'll hear it toward the very end of the video. Again, watch the video. It's Ben goes to San Francisco to see the SpongeBob musical. And he had a lot of fun with Sherry that day. So yeah, it's actually a cute video. I've watched it a couple times myself already. And I really enjoyed it. Everyone, thank you so much for being here for this edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. It's always I always appreciate being able to spend time with you here, my villagers. It just means the world to me. You have no idea how much I enjoy this. So everyone, one more thing. If I'm not mistaken, there is a sale going on right now on Spreadshirt.com. Go check it out. I believe you can save 15% on your sale, and that is site-wide. So go to our website. Oh, Martine, thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed this time. Go to the site, shop.spreadshirt.com/peppertreevilla, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can save 15% on your sale, on your purchase. So please go check it out and enjoy the goodness of either a Lofi t-shirt or the I Want My PTV merchandise. We will have more designs coming. Doug has a few things up his sleeve for designs. So we'll be announcing those as soon as they happen. So again, everyone, thank you so much for being here for this episode of the Daily Dose of Disney. I really appreciate it. Everyone, have a magical evening. And have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow again with another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney right here on Pepper Tree Villa. Bye, everyone.